This is what you would see if it wasn't for the hard-working volunteers at Channel 10. But thanks to their great effort, this is what you get.
Following is a Shaw Cable special presentation.
But I did it strategically this time. I think the NDP should have much stronger environmental policies, opposing things like Selgar and major road developments that are raping the planet. And they wouldn't say that, whereas the Greens would. But strategically, I got, you know, we didn't want any social credits in this time again, right?
So you're happy?
Yeah, relatively. You know, we'll see how well the NDP does and what happens now that they're in power. I mean, who knows?
Will tell, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Julie's up there. She's really proud of you.
So the election didn't go very well tonight. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I can only describe it as shocked at the results of the Liberals. And I did not suspect in the interior especially that they would garner the support that they have. Neufeld entered the race late, and our numbers show that we had considerable more support than what the results are showing. And so I'm obviously surprised. But there's obviously a message here, and that can't be denied. And well, congratulations to Corky Evans. It looks like it's heading his way for sure.
So the next 4 years we have an NDP government. What you probably don't have anything nice to say about that, but
the next 4 years are going to be tough for taxpayers in this province, but we shall wait and see.
Okay,
thank you.
Well, I must say you're taking this very, very well for someone who just lost an election.
Well, thank you. Actually, it's that's the way it votes. So people vote, and this is the democratic process. So, and they've spoken, and I'm not happy with it, but certainly that's the will of the people.
Well, certainly, people can't deny what you have done for the area in the past.
No, I'm very proud of what has happened in the last 5 years. Very proud of it, and it's been a great honor, really, to serve the constituency for 5 years, and not only serve the constituency. We've only had 34 parliaments in the province since the beginning of the province, and so very few people have had the honor of serving as an MLA. And then when you think I had 3.5 years, or just about 3.5 years as a cabinet minister, that again is a great honor, and certainly it's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
What are your plans now?
Oh, tomorrow morning I'll wake up and have a leisure breakfast, and I'll start looking at all my options.
Going on a long vacation?
No. My mother is fairly ill right now, and she just had a stroke on Monday, and so I'm going to go see her.
Okay. Well, good luck in the future, Mr. Dirks.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see each other.
Well, Gerald, this has been definitely a very interesting election. What are your feelings and comments?
Simple justice, Patrick. It's simple justice. A government that can't keep its fingers out of the till and its members and premiers out of court doesn't deserve to govern the province.
Your button that says so many so-creds, so little time, is you feel that's...
Well, it's the people of BC speaking, although in the button it's a judge speaking in court. I think the people of BC spoken, and they've dealt with social credit. Social credit was bankrupt. It was ideologically empty. It had nothing to offer, and people saw that. They looked for alternatives, and the NDP is the alternative.
And what do you see the Liberals there? The Liberals seem to be creating the opposition.
Well, people are looking for anything they can find. They're looking for an alternative, no matter how uncredible, no matter how bankrupt of policy. And the Liberal Party in British Columbia has no policy. If the campaign had gone another 10 days, I believe the public would have seen that the Liberal Party had absolutely nothing to offer.
And so what would people done?
Oh, I think an NDP majority would have been much more massive had the campaign gone on just a few more days to allow the Liberals to demonstrate how little they can say.
And you feel that the way the vote's gone in Nelson-Creston is just echoing what we've seen across the province?
I think it's an overwhelming statement of confidence in both Nelson-Creston and Roslyn Trail riding. You've got majority victories. So no opponent can speak about Green Party splits or free enterprise split vote. The people here are speaking with a majority voice.
We're seeing what we've seen Chris Darcy lose his seat in Roslyn Trail. Is that to go with the NDP, or is that a statement against Chris Darcy, do you feel?
Well, I think Chris Darcy always misunderstood that somehow he was the shining white knight of Roslyn Trail. He's a nice guy, but I don't think people were endorsing him or his work specifically. I think they were endorsing a party that represented their interests as working men and women. And when Chris didn't represent those interests anymore, they went with the person who does. That's Ed Conroy.
There's been a rumor that he may be seeking the NDP federally.
Chris Darcy can seek anything he likes. I wish him well, but he repudiated the New Democratic Party, and New Democrats aren't going to forgive that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Lorne Nicholson is the MLA for Nelson-Creston for 14 years. How does the sweep this evening strike you?
This is a kind of a spirit that is very reminiscent of 1972. I'm sure right now that Corky Evans and Bonnie are experiencing fantastic elation and a feeling of gratitude to all the people that work so hard that, and you see these people here today. It's a shared victory, and I'll never forget my, 1972. I got out of a car. Suddenly, I was up in the air. A bunch of people carrying me into the hall, and I don't know if there's going to be a repeat of that tonight. But some of the people who carried me in are here this evening.
Do you feel that that's after seeing this evening? Do you almost sort of wish that you were in the shoes again?
Oh, you always have those moments, but when I feel like that, I phone up somebody like Dennis Koch or Bill King or somebody, and we talk each other down. We have a self-help group that keeps our perspective.
Great.
No, we need.
Okay.
We need people like Corky with their enthusiasm.
Thank you.
We got just one more small job. And we'll do it.
Do you feel that we spoke to the returning officer earlier today, and he said that if it's really close, we won't know till the 30th?
Yes. Well, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, so tomorrow morning when I'm on the plane tomorrow morning, I hope that I'll know the result, and I'm confident we will. I think we're going to see Howard open his margin. He's done a good job here, and people recognize that, and we'll see the results tonight.
What's going to happen provincially tonight?
Well, I haven't been following it as closely as I may have liked to, and I've been so involved here, but we've got to remember this thing ultimately comes down on a constituency by constituency fight, and I believe when people in each constituency make that decision and look at the candidates, they will find that social credit offers the best option for government in this province. There's no question about it.
You said that you're going on a plane tomorrow. What happens to the SoCred machine that you set up for this?
Well, it stays in place. It stays in place, so we're going to help re-elect Howard in 4 more years from now, or 8 more years, and so on and so forth. So they'll be here. There's great folks up in this area. I've had a lot of fun working with the folks, and as you know, I'm a native of Creston, and I've had a chance to get a few home-cooked meals in and there in between. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been great.
Good. Okay. One last question. Oh no, 2 more questions. Debating on tonight, will Howard be a minister again?
I hope so. Absolutely. And continue in the ministry. That'd be tremendous. We've had cabinet representation in this area, and it's meant a big difference to a lot of the availability of the resources and things that Howard's been able to bring to this area. So hard work and his voice at the cabinet table, absolutely.
Okay. What's the difference between social credit and NDP?
You said you weren't going to ask me anything on policy.
I didn't ask you on policy.
Well, if I can answer the big difference here, is that fair? The big difference here is the question of representation and who can best represent this area. And that is clearly Howard. He's demonstrated his experience. He's demonstrated his ability to get things done. He's demonstrated his ability to deliver. And ultimately, it's a commitment to limited government and to let the market function, and the role of government curtailed such that people can do things voluntarily within an equal set of guidelines that everyone abides by. Equal opportunity for all, special privileges for none. And that's what social credit's about, and that's the big difference. We don't need big government in this province, and I hope that's what, when people go to mark their ballots today, that's what they remember.
I bet you guys never saw me speechless before.
Never seen you elected before.
That's because I've never been elected before. No way. I actually can't do this. No. Listen.
Time's up.
I signed the other day 750 scrutineer forms, and I think they were all used. And hundreds of people gave money, and hundreds of people were on the phone. This really isn't about me. For every vote we got, I'm sure there was there was a volunteer or a person who gave money or a person on the phones for every, I don't know what, 8 voters. I don't know. It's about it's about you folks. It's about Bob Cunningham, who made me do it.
Thanks, Bob.
I thank you for me and a little bit about what I think happened here. Obviously, in the last few weeks, there was some real haywire attacks on our campaign. For a little while, I thought they were about me, and then I realized in the last couple days that those strange things that were happening were about a dynasty crumbling, a dynasty that ruled here for 40 years. And because it's Canada, we took this dynasty apart with votes and volunteers and children and people in a peaceful manner, taking apart something that has been there so long that the administration of every bureaucracy and institution in this province is welded to that dynasty. Now we're going to put it all back together again in the name of the people. And I'm humbled that I might get to be a part of that. I think that you folks paid more than $3,000 just in my gas bills in the last 2 years. Because this is a hard place to get to all the parts of, like driving back and forth. I feel like my mom always wanted me to go to college. I've been to college. We sewed together the disparate communities like Nicholson and Creston and Caslow and Nelson. I feel like for the first time I understand who we are, and we are wonderful people. I was not here an hour ago because for the first time when you ever had me for a candidate, we won a poll in Creston. And then Sandy Corman got another call and came out and wrote down, and we won another poll, and then another poll. We are not a party that wins in one place anymore. We are winning in all the corners of this constituency, whether the people work in Nelson or in the sawmill in Slocan or live in Caslow or are orchardists in Creston. We're all in it. I was riding across the summit and heard the KBS announce that we won, and Audrey Moore said, "If you can hear me, Corky, congratulations," and Ron Schmidt said, "If you can hear me, Corky, congratulations," and Jeff Schechter almost managed to say we're going to even represent Jeff Schechter. I don't want to talk anymore. I love you people and what you've done. And I'll do my best. That we didn't promise a university in a box. We didn't promise to solve all the troubles in a day. We didn't promise a damn thing except honesty and to do the best we can, and now we'll do it. I don't know where Heather is. Come and stand on this chair and let the people see you. The day that Social credit, finally got the nerve to call this election. Our campaign manager, never mind who he was, said he wasn't going to come. A person from our community stepped into the middle and made this thing into the calmest, most friendly, collective process I could ever imagine. Heather Suggen.
Your folks? No. My parents came here from England. So, how do you feel things have gone today?
Excellent.
And you feel really positive about the...
Definitely.
What about over the past 28 days? Has that been a good experience
I think it's different this time than last time, yeah. Has been.
Why is that?
Well, number one, people haven't respected the signs, which they normally do respect during an election campaign, and that didn't happen this time at all. And I hate to see that the lawlessness has gone that far, personally.
Do you feel that's a statement on society, or is that a statement on the politics in the area?
No, I think it's a statement on society. I really do.
So do you think we're going to see a change in the policies towards signs in both parties?
I think we have to.
As to signs that are more permanent, less destructible, or less than the signs?
No, I think you'll have to, the law and order will have to just do their job, that's all.
Good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
To the room down below, the election so far is shaping up in Nelson-Creston at the moment.
Well, at the moment it sounds, from the early reports that we've had, of course I'm using the numbers that are being reported right from the returning office, either in Trail or in Nelson. Of course we're covering the whole thing. From what I can tell, it's a pretty close. You're just saying 39 for Conroy, 1 for Conroy. Sorry, I can't catch it. But from what I've talked to the workers here, they're hoping that it's going to shift back. An earlier comment was that although they may lose some seats, they're pretty sure that Mr. Dirks has this riding. So.
Alan, how do you feel about today's election?
I'm not overly surprised at the results to this point. I think that CBC may be a little over-optimistic. I think that the Liberals have had a major impact on social credit, and that may not necessarily be bad for the province overall. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out locally. I'm hoping that Howard will do well.
Do you feel that Barry Neufeld will play a larger role in Nelson-Creston than Liberals have in the past?
At this point, I don't think so. He's virtually unknown. He came into the campaign very late, and I think that he will be something to be looked at next time. But this year, I don't think so.
What about the Greens? Do you feel that they will play a part?
If the Greens take any votes, it will be from the NDP, because I think that the NDP have lost credibility and will lose even more credibility being in government. It's much easier to be in the opposition than it is to be in government.
What about you, Josh? How do you feel things have gone today?
I'll tell you tomorrow morning. It's kind of early to tell. We have very few polls in.
You think we're going to know by tomorrow morning?
I would think so. I don't think it's going to be like it was last time.
You don't think it's going to be that close?
27 votes? I somehow doubt it, no.
When you had 1,068 in the advance poll, that's enough to throw it one way or the other at the moment.
I would think so.
Yeah. So you're gonna hold off on any predictions or any celebration yet?
I think for this riding, yes. It looks like the NDP are certainly leading throughout the province, although they don't have the majority of the population of British Columbia behind them, with only 41% right now, which is interesting, and I'm sure it's going to have an impact on how they govern.
How do you feel the campaigns went in Nelson-Creston? Do you feel they were good, clean campaigns?
That's difficult, really difficult to say. I'm pleased, shall we say, that on some issues both candidates supported, such as Kootenay Lake Fisheries. I'm very happy to see that, and I think the official win out, not the people, and that's the important thing on that issue. Other issues, they weren't that different.
Let's
just a second, I got to talk to the TV.
So how do you feel?
Wonderful. How could anyone feel? A really bad government is over, and we're going to be part of the new government. I feel wonderful. I feel really good. Also, I feel real good about the way Andrea and Howard and Barry Neufeld did their parts. This was, the candidates in this constituency didn't tear each other apart and call each other names. As you know, it was a really upfront campaign, 7 all-candidates meetings and honest answers to the questions. I feel real good about the people of the Kootenays. We showed the province how to have an election that wasn't stupid and rancorous and ugly. We showed them how to have an honest, kind, and thoughtful election. And of course, when it was over, we won. So of course, I'm thrilled.
How do you feel about the Liberal being in the opposition?
That's fine with me. I wouldn't wish anybody on being Mike Harcourt's opposition. What a hard job. What are you going to find wrong with the NDP leader who's going to take the middle road and balance the budget? It's a dream come true for the people of BC.
Can you give me a couple of words that you would say to Howard Dirks right now, if you could?
Yes, I'd say, Howard, thank you for your years of public service. I, at least, appreciate them. You managed to be a candidate from a government that was shown to be corrupt, and yet everybody knows you yourself were an honest politician through some of the hardest times that British Columbia has ever seen. You maintained your decorum, you maintained your party loyalty. I think Howard Dirks deserves the respect and the thanks of the people of Nelson-Creston, no matter what side they're on.
What's one of the first things you're going to do as MLA?
I've never been elected as an MLA. I don't know how to find an office. I don't know how soon the government takes over. I don't have a clue. I'm going to proceed to ask questions and try and follow directions.
What's the first thing you're going to do tomorrow?
Ask Lorne Nicholson how you do this job. Tomorrow, as I understand it, we have some kind of a press conference. I imagine all you folks will be back. Unless this is it. Sunday, all the people that worked on this campaign are going to get together for a debriefing so we understand what we did, and then we're going to dismantle the machinery and take the signs down, and then we're going to proceed to try and figure out how the transition of government works and how to proceed to represent these people. I would ask people in the meantime to be a little bit patient. You can find me by leaving messages through the MP's office, Lyle Christensen's office, and as soon as we have an office open, I'll advertise it through all of your media. I know I'm supposed to say I'm going to have a sleep or go on a long walk, but I don't know how long it'll be before I come down from this.
Are you nervous?
Can I hug my old friend on television?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you so much. We've finally done it after all these years.
I couldn't have enjoyed it anymore if I'd have done it myself.
You did do it. You did do it, Bob.
It's great.
This man's been working to make this thing happen. This man's been working to make this thing happen for years. This is Bob Cunningham. And through all the mistakes I've ever made, Bob kept trusting me to get it together, and that's how come I ran this time, because of people like Bob.
Well, I'll tell you, it's just one of the greatest things that's happened in this constituency, Corky. And if we have a few more people like you in there, this province is going to have a good government, because all the people are behind you.
Tell me how you feel.
I feel really great because I think it's a chance for a change in government, a refreshing look, and it's really, really going to make a lot of difference to the province. I think for once we're going to have a humanistic government instead of the sort of dictatorial thing we've seen in the past, and I'm really pleased for everybody.